Hello everyone and welcome to a new series on this channel which I'm going to be calling Redstone Basics. Now in this series we are going to be going over all of the Redstone basics that you need to know to start learning your own Redstone. Now in this video we're going to be going over things like this Redstone, what repeaters do, what Redstone components are, how they are powered and all the stuff like that. And at the end I'm going to show you how to build your own simple piston door using all of the things that we've learned in this video. So the first thing I want to show you is what redstone is. Now you might see here we've got this thing called redstone dust. And this is sort of like a wire, in fact, but we can power it using something like this lever. And you can see that the signal is going down, and we can use it to power a redstone component like this lamp. And when we turn the lever on and off, you can see that the lamp also turns on and off. So now that you know what this redstone is, we can move on to what this thing here is. Now as you can see, I've got basically the same thing as down here. I've got a lever, some redstone and a lamp. You can see, like down there, as I turn the lever on and off, the lamp also turns on and off. Now this is because this redstone dust is powering this redstone lamp. However, there is one distinction we need to make. This is called soft powering. And this here, as you can see, I have got a repeater instead of a redstone dust. This here is hard powering. And there is a difference between them that we need to learn. So you can see here I've got the same two examples, the soft powering and the hard powering. But on the other side I've got another piece of redstone dust. Now this redstone dust might be important if you want to carry on your redstone circuit and make it bigger, and you want to keep going with the redstone and maybe power another component. However, you can see if I soft power this redstone lamp, that this redstone dust on the other side is not powered. But if I hard power it with this repeater, then this redstone dust here is powered and we can continue on building the redstone to power another component. Now it's easy to understand what is hard powering and what isn't. All you need to know is that if you have one redstone component facing into another like this repeater, or if you've got something like a comparator, or something like a redstone torch or a lever or a stone pressure plate, then these will all hard power the block that they are on. So for example, this repeater is hard powering this redstone lamp. However, if you've only got redstone dust, then this block will not be hard powered. However, as you can see here, I've put a redstone repeater on the other side of this lamp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this redstone lamp and soft power it. But as you can see, the redstone repeater on the other side has turned on. This will also happen if I hard power the lamp. This is because no matter whether you soft power or hard power a block, you can always take a redstone output from it if you use a repeater. And as you can see here very quickly, I have replaced the redstone lamp here, which is a redstone component, with a normal block. You can see all the examples I've done before work with any blocks, not just redstone components. Now I'm going to move on to what is the difference between hard powering and soft powering and what they power differently later on. But first I want to show you what these are. These here are redstone torches, and as you can see, you can use these to power a redstone line. And obviously, as with before with this lever, you can also use it to power a redstone component. Now as you can see here with this redstone torch that's powering the lamp above it, what this is doing is it is hard powering this lamp, which means if you wanted to, you could come up here and you could get a redstone output from it. However, one important thing to know is that if you were to take an output from the side of the torch with this block, if you wanted to continue the redstone line, you couldn't unless you used a repeater like over there. That is because a redstone torch only hard powers the block above it and soft powers those around it. We can also power the block that a redstone torch is on to turn it on or off, like this here. Now it doesn't matter if you hard or soft power the block below it, it will always turn on or off depending on what the power going in is. But you can see that it's toggling the light above it. And we can also use this to be able to chain the redstone upwards without having to curl around the redstone line. So if I turn on this lever here, you can see that this redstone torch turns off, and this one at the top also turns off. And if I turn this lever back off, this torch turns on, and so does the torch at the top. So now we've moved on to these things, which are called sticky pistons and normal pistons. And these things move the blocks which are in front of them when they are powered. So you can see if I put a block in front of them, and then just power them, the block in front just moves over. Now, the difference between a normal piston like this one here and a sticky piston like this one here is a normal piston will move the block forward but will not pull it back, whereas a sticky piston, when move the block forward, it will then pull the block back when unpowered like this. Now, it's important to know that you cannot put a redstone dust on top of a piston, because if you do, the redstone dust just pops off, and then it will break the line that you have going into all of your other components. So as we can see here, this redstone line over here is no longer powered. So now we get to the part where we explain what hard powering, soft powering actually means. So as you can see over here, with this soft powered block, any block that is around it is not powered by this block. So it doesn't matter where you take the redstone line from, it will not be powered. However, with a hard powered block like this one here, you can see that any block around it, no matter whether it's on the sides or over here, if it's on the top or the bottom, they will always be able to take an output from this block. So if I break this lamp here and put a redstone dust here, you can see that it is being powered by this hard powered block here. And you can think of this essentially by any block which is covered by this glass here will be powered by a hard powered block in the middle. So now what we want to do is we want to work out whether this piston here is going to be powered by this redstone line. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to think. And the answer to this is yes, it will be powered, because this redstone line here is soft powering this block, which is powering this piston. Well, that's what you might think. The answer isn't actually that simple. In Java Edition, there's something called quasi-connectivity, and it's more complicated than what I want to get into in this video. But basically what it means is that even though there is not a block here which is being powered by this redstone, which will power this piston, it will be powered anyway. So it doesn't matter whether I place it here, or wherever, it will always be powered through quasi-connectivity. If you want to learn more about quasi-connectivity, then there's plenty of videos on YouTube which will explain it to you, and I might link a couple in the description if I can remember. So here what we want to think about now is whether this piston is going to be powered by this redstone line or not, and yet again I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to think about it. And the answer to this one is no, it will not be powered when I power this redstone line. Now this might be a bit confusing, but if this piston is on the same level as this redstone dust, it will only be powered if the redstone dust is facing into this piston. So as you can see here, I have got a redstone line that is facing into this piston, so when I power it, this piston will turn on. Now it's important to know that some redstone components will make the signal turn into them if the signal is not already going into them. Like for example, this target block, if I place this down you can see that the redstone line turns to face into it. However, some of these components will not. For example, this note block won't, this dispenser won't, and neither will these pistons or these lamps. The more common redstone components that will redirect the signal is input devices. That's stuff like this lever here, or if you've got a button or a pressure plate, those will also redirect the signal. Now as you can see, I have put all the things that we should have learnt about today into one redstone contraption. And this is just a simple 2x2 piston door, which will open when you stand on these pressure plates either side of the door. Now you can think about it as this being the outside, so if you're going into your house or base or whatever it is, you will stand on these pressure plates and the door open so you can get in, and this will be the inside. Now I'm going to show you how to build this, and as you can see, what I've done here is I have used different colours of concrete to make the different lines of redstone. Now this is very important when building a redstone contraption, as it allows you to keep track of what redstone line is doing what or coming from where. So for example, I know that this magenta line here is going up to power the pistons, and I know that this light blue line here is the redstone power coming down from these pressure plates to power the magenta line which powers the pistons. Now the first thing we're going to do is to work out where the floor where the pistons are going to be on is going to be. Now because I'm going to be building this in a super flat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this up a couple of blocks so you can see all the redstone that is going to be underneath. But if you're building this in a survival world, or any other world where it's not a super flat, or even if you're in a super flat, then you can just dig a hole and put this all under there. Now, as you can see, what I have done is I have built this wall here, which I'm going to pretend is a wall which has the entrance to my base in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around to the back and just place 2 sticky pistons here, facing towards the door, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the same block here, which I want to have as my door, and I'm just going to place up by 2 in front of these pistons. Now what we need to do is we need to figure out a way which will power these pistons, and as we know, we can use redstone torches to power the blocks around them. So this redstone torch is soft powering this piston here, and then I'm just going to place a block above it, which is going to hard power this piston. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then what I'm going to do is, using the same logic which we used to build the chain upwards with the redstone torches over there, I'm going to come down here and just place a redstone torch under this one and do the same on the other side. We can then use these 2 redstone torches down here to control the pistons which are up there and whether it is open or closed. So what we need to do is we need to have a redstone line going between the 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a line down here, and you can see that I'm just going to put some redstone between them. But as you can see, even though we haven't got any pressure plates yet and we're not stood on them, the door is already open, and that's because this redstone torch here is turning off this redstone torch and the same on the other side, which would mean that these pistons are not being extended. So what we want to do is we want to figure out a way of making sure that when this door should be closed, these 2 redstone torches are turned off. And we're going to use some more redstone torches for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the bottom and just get rid of these redstone dust here. And we're just going to place up by 2 blocks here and put a redstone torch on either side. And as you can see, because these redstone torches are turned on, this redstone dust here is being powered, which is soft powering this block, which has turned off this redstone torch, which has turned on this and extended these pistons. What we then want to do is we want to put some pressure plates either side of this door, so over here and over here. And what we want to do is we want to be able to take the redstone output from these, bring it down underneath, and then use it to power these 2 redstone torches. So I'm going to start around the back because it's a little bit easier. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come from underneath this block and just place 2 blocks down here with a redstone dust on top. Because what this is going to do is when we are stood on these pressure plates, it is going to power this block here, which is then going to power this redstone dust because this block is being hard powered. What we can then do is we can take this redstone and put it on top of both of these blocks which have the torches on, and that means that when we stand on the pressure plates, the pistons open and the doors open, we can walk through. So what we now need to do is we need to do the front. It's a little bit more complicated, but not really. All we need to do is do the same, just come down by 2 blocks here and put the redstone on top. And the same thing which is powering the redstone on this side is powering the redstone on this side. What's happening is these 2 pressure plates are hard powering the blocks, which is soft powering these redstone dust lines. We just want to bring it over and into this other redstone over here. Now you don't need to do it on both sides, even though you could do it on both and it would still work. You don't need to, and it's totally unnecessary. because if this redstone dust is powered by this pressure plate, then the signal is going to travel down this line and into this redstone dust over here anyway. So there we have it, that is our simple piston door. All we've got to do is we can stand on these pressure plates and just walk through to the other side, and when we step off, the pistons will extend again and the door will close. Now that's it for this video. That has been the Redstone Basics episode 1. If you want to see more of this series, then please let me know in the comments. If you've really liked this video, then please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps me out. But that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching.